Hi, this is Tracie DeMars with ReMax Equity Group, and this week we're going to talk about a question I'm getting a lot lately, which is how do I sell my current home and buy the next home? As most of us are spending more time in our homes this year than ever before, and people are spending more time in our homes as our families are. If you've got young children, like I said, I got a fifth grader, and she's working at the kitchen table a lot because she can't come in my office. I can't have more people in my office. I have enough stuff in my office, but we're living in our homes more. And so sometimes a lot of people are finding out that maybe our home sizes don't work for us anymore, and it's time for the next home. Most people move, more than once in their life. As much as we'd love to say our first home's going to be our last home, that's not the ways it works. And sometimes we need more space, less space. We need another room. Sometimes we can build on and remodel, and sometimes it's just time for a new home. But we are getting this question a lot lately. What happens if my home doesn't fit for me anymore and I want to sell and buy my next home? So there's a couple different steps of this. Okay. The first step is finding out how much your home is worth and what your equity is going to look like after all the fees are coming out. The second step is talking to a lender and getting pre-approved so you know how much you're going to be able to approve, finance and pay for your next house. And the nice thing is when you have a current home, you have equity. Okay. And you're going to use that equity for your next house, which is awesome. That's what we did. I couldn't afford to buy my current house without the equity. Heck, I couldn't afford to buy my current house right now with what it's worth. But that's what happens. You live in the home and it kind of moves up in equity. And then the next step is to figure out which works for you. Is it work for you to go on the market and sell your home and look for the new home at the same time? Or do you have the option to, maybe sell your house, first and then go find a new home? Or do you want to find a new home before you put your house on the market, which is called more of the contingency? And sometimes people can do what we call the mixed hybrids. So there's a couple of different options, but we're going to talk more about those parts next week and the week after probably. This week we're really going to talk about what happens in the first step. And that first step is what your house is worth. Okay. And kind of lead you into the second step, which is talking to your lender and getting pre-approved. So your first step is to call your favorite realtor. And we're going to assume that that's me. Yay! And you're going to call me, say, Tracie, it's time for my next home. How much is my current home worth? So I'm going to pull up your address or get your address if I don't already have it. And I'm going to try to pull comps. Now, comparable homes need to be comparable. They need to be in the same school district. Because if you're sitting on two school districts, homes might sell for this much in this district and this much in this district. Okay. So we're going to look at the same school district. We're going to look at bedroom sizes, square footage sizes, lot size, and, age of the home. Your 1970s ranch and orchards is not really comparable to a brand new home being built now in orchards. They're two different beasts. We need to compare apples to apples, not apples to bananas. Okay. And then as a realtor, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to look at all the information I can. I'm going to try to gather as much information on your home and the comparables in your area as possible. Okay. What did these homes sell for? Okay, how long were they on the market for? What do they have compared to your house? Okay, what upgrades have they done? Granite counters, quartz counters, new roofs, that kind of information. Okay, and that's homes sold. What do they sell for in the last 4 to 6 months? And then I'm also going to look at the pending homes. And this is important because how long were these homes on the market and at what price did they get offers? Or did they have multiple offers? And then I'm also going to look at active homes. And active homes are important because this is competition. If I'm a buyer's agent and I'm showing your home, I'm also showing these homes. Okay. You never want to be the most expensive house in the street. Because you're only, if you're the most expensive house in the street, you're only helping everybody else sell faster. You kind of want to be in that happy medium. You never want to be the lowest house on the street either, because we're cynical people. We think, well, what's wrong? It's always lovely the idea, hey, I'm going to get multiple offers. I had that happen on a listing of mine recently where we had multiple offers and then the buyers got cold feet because they felt like they were maybe paying too much. And then they backed out for a reason that's totally fixable. So again, you're looking for one strong buyer. You can have a million offers, it's great, but really what you need is one strong offer that's going to close. All right, so we're going to get all this information, then we're going to call you up and we're going to say, hey, let's make an appointment to sit down and talk. And we're going to come over and we're going to check out your house. And I'm not going to lie to you. From the moment we're pulling up in front of your house, we're judging your home. We're looking at your roof. We're looking at your siding, the painting, the curb appeal. What do we see if we were to have a buyer in the car? Okay. And I'm going to come up and say, hey, show me your home. And I want to see what you say about your home, because there's going to be things you love about your home and there's going to be things you hate about your home. Same with me, same with everybody. Talk to me about your home. What do you love about your home? What do you hate about your home? Okay. And I'm going to be filing this information as we sit down to go over all the comparables. Okay. And as we're walking through the house and you're pointing things out to me, I'm also looking for things that I know that we might need to do to get your home on the market. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, okay, if we put this much money into the home to get it for sale, does it need it? Do you get value out of it? I have a client right now who was putting a brand new roof and a bunch of work in their home, but they're putting a bunch of work on their home and it's going to turn around and sell for like 60 grand more. So it makes sense because in the current condition, I really couldn't sell their home, at least not for anything that's going to finance. But a little bit of work that they can do, and it's going to sell for so much more. And I'm so excited because that house is going on the market next week on October 1st. I'm so excited to see when it's done. It's going to be amazing. And then I've also had clients who are like, well, you can do this and we can do this, but you're really not going to get any value out of it. And so it might not make sense to do it. I know there are some people saying, well, I watch HDV and it says to paint everything white or gray and take everything down from the walls. That's not necessarily always something that needs to be done. As you can see behind me, this is my office and my wall colors are Parisian patina. All my walls are painted. All my rooms have different paint colors in my house because I like that. Now, it might not work for everybody, but I think if I was to sell it, I probably wouldn't really paint any of the walls because none of them are too much. Sometimes things are there's just too much of it. And some things it's just fine. And then also sometimes you put things on the, houses on the market to see what kind of feedback we're getting. Is it something that needs to be fixed because we're hearing a lot about it? And sometimes I had one recently where a lot of the showings didn't like the neighbors. I can't do anything about the neighbors. So it's just, kind of dealing with it. So one of those things we're going to do is we're going to look around, we're going to talk. And as we're, walking around, talking about your home, we're filing this information because again, the comparables that we have, we're going to have a range of what these homes have sold for. Homes, are priced, selling for this price here and this price here. And your home's going to fall value-wise somewhere in that range. Are you near the top, comparatively speaking, these other homes have sold? Or are you down near the bottom of what these homes have sold for value? Okay. And we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about what you might or might not need to do to sell your home and for what value that's going to come out at. And one of the things we're also going to talk about at this time is the fees associated with selling your home. The nice thing is when you buy your current home, your realtor is free. Yay! You don't pay a realtor when you buy your new house. Yeah! When you sell a home, you do pay a realtor. And then we're going to take part of our commission and we're going to pay the buyer's agent with it. And when you buy your new home, you're not paying your realtor again. Yay! But we're also going to sit there and we're going to go over all the fees that are associated because it's not just realtor fees. The sellers have their own costs and their own closing cost portion to pay. And again, I'm going to put a lot of this information in a written form and I'm going to put it on the learningtobuyahome.com here in the next day or two. So it's not just watching me talk about it. You're also going to be able to read me and I'm going to try to put information on what the seller's costs are when they're selling their home. So you'll have something in writing to go back to. But we're also going to talk about, again, the fees that are associated with selling your home, what kind of marketing we're looking at, who's most likely to buy your home, how we're going to reach them. We're going to talk about the cost that your realtor is going to incur to put your home on the market. Okay. How are we going to market your home? How are we going to find your buyer? Okay. This is where we're starting off at. And we're also going to talk about how much do you owe? Okay. And we're going to take that away. And we're going to compare what fees might come up when you're selling your home. Are there repairs? So there's always going to be repairs. Unfortunately, it is what it is. There's things that we don't know about our home. So we're going to take a little bit of money, average, off to the side for that. What happens if the buyers need some closing costs? Well, doesn't really happen right now with multiple offers, but there's a possibility that might come up. So let's just for giggles, take that off to the side of if you were to help the buyer pay some closing costs. Let's call that gravy money. That's what might come up. How much do you owe on your home? And let's compare that too. So we're going to take how much we think your home is worth. We're going to take all these fees out, how much your loan is, and then we're going to say, here's your net. This is what you have for your next house. And this is awesome because this is money you can apply to your next purchase. And now your next step is to contact your lender and say, hey, I talked to Tracie. I know how much value I have. I know what my net is. How much can I get pre-approved for my next house? And this is just like if you're buying your first home. You're going to contact your lender and you're going to give him all the information that you normally would to get pre-approved for your next home. But you're also going to give him, hey, Tracie says, this is my net equity out of the home that I can apply to my next home. So that's the one step. Now, next week, we're going to talk about taking this information and contacting your lender. And actually, what I might try to do is have Chris do us a quick video on what it takes to get pre-approved. And we can tie that into this one. And then we'll talk about your next step, which is, hey, let's find you the new home. And how do you want to do this? All right, a couple different steps again. If you have any questions, please always give me a call. And again, go to the learningtobuyahome.com website for any further information. And we're going to try to back this up with written information for you as well. As always, have a great day. And thank you for coming to Tuesday's Tips on a Friday.